Maxwell out to Maravich. Maxwell doesn't get a lot of the credit that's due him. Here is Bird off the glass.
I tell you, when you have that feeling as an offensive player, it doesn't matter what you do, that ball's going to go in the basket. Why?
In a heated battle at the Boston Garden, the Celtics answered back in Game 2 of the 1980 Eastern Conference Finals with a 96-90 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers, knotting the series at 1 game apiece. Larry Bird powered Boston with a dominant all-around performance, posting 31 points and 12 rebounds, showing his toughness and leadership in a must-win game. Cedric Maxwell provided a huge lift inside, finishing with 17 points and 15 rebounds, controlling the boards alongside Bird to give Boston second-chance opportunities. For Philadelphia, Julius Erving led the Sixers with 24 points, once again proving nearly unstoppable with his slashing drives and mid-range scoring. Darryl Dawkins chipped in 16 points and 11 rebounds, battling in the paint but unable to overcome Boston's defensive intensity. Behind the roar of the Garden faithful, the Celtics seized momentum late and evened the series 1-1 before the matchup shifted to Philadelphia.
The doctor. Nice pass by Dawkins.
That was a great play because
Brad Caldwell-Jones rips it down. Off to Hollins. Bird saves it in. Bird is all right. He's getting up to our left. He'll come back into your picture. There he is. What an effort by Larry Bird. And Collins off to Cheeks. Archibald, what a one-on-one meeting they're having. Beautiful play, but he can't get it to go. Here comes the Celtics fast break, but you can see a lot of red shirts getting back in a hurry. Bird. Boy, hitting the deck on that charge was Hollins. Irving. Ford. It's a little ragtag right now.
it really is. Both teams not handling the ball very well.
I guess that's some of that playoff pressure, Rick.
A little over-anxious.
Here's Ford trying to force it in. Maxwell can't hang on. Here's Ford to Cowan.
And that's how the Celtics are able to hand on him. It's incidental contact, actually.
I guess he's trying to establish control of this game early. There's Irving.
Julius definitely cheats very well on the outlet.
Tiny Archibald off the Bird, who had 27 points on Friday. Nice move on Dawkins. Jones got a hand on it. Maxwell follows, and boy, are they hitting the board. Now we have a mismatch as Irving's underneath against Cowan.
That's a great pass, Gary. He just caught the Philadelphia defense.
4-point lead for the Celtics. Cheeks off to the Doctor. Doctor on 4 occasions had over 30 points in the games in the regular season, and what a move that was. 4 turnovers against the 76ers. Ford with Hollins on him. That is a 2-pointer. No, are they going to give him 3? Back in. Here comes the Doctor, that patented move of his. Maxwell. Cedric Maxwell to Bird. They're filling the lanes, and that is Boston at its best.
That's exactly right. Bird was wide open on the...
Has to do to win this game is get that ball off the boards and get down the floor.
That's what both teams really want to do.
Lionel Hollins, Ford on him. Nice fake by Lionel Hollins. He shed those for this game, and he's really rooting them on. And here comes the Doctor with one of those steals that he's so well known for.
Just a good
points thus far. Larry Bird looking for someone, and as he did, Lee Jones will give him the basket, and the foul will go against Irving. Lee Jones on top of that play. A 3-point possibility.
Simple pick-and-roll play. Good fake. Doctor reaches in, catches him on the arm. Larry follows through with the shot. You notice on that play that Dave Cowens had gotten great position underneath the basket on Darryl Dawkins. If Larry had missed that shot, he had an excellent chance for an offensive rebound.
And the pushing that's going on in there. Because blocks it. Hollins recovers. And Maxwell will bring it down. Great effort on his part to Bird. Bird saves it. Cheeks on him. Look at that pass. You believe that? Here comes Ford.
A big man.
Here's Caldwell against Bird. The lean in again. He'll try it again.
Good pass by the Doctor.
To the Doctor. Look at Bird. Bird said he was going to go out and play some defense, and he's staying with the big guy, and it's hard to do, and it paid dividends there.
Well, that time Doc tried to do a reverse dribble, spinning back to his right side, just lost control of it, but Larry had good position between his man and the basket.
And here is the man who was a real star Friday night, Henry Bibby, 17 points coming off the bench, as Bird on the side. 21-18, Boston. First, Hollins will bring it in. Look at the pushing between these two guys. Two big giants. And they're going to have pushing off on Daryl Dawkins.
Well, that was an obvious foul. He just hooked his man.
Conversation. Here's Bird. He's open again.
Bird's really in the rhythm right now, and they should really keep looking for him. If he can pop open 18, 20 feet from the basket, he should look to shoot it because he's got the shot going for him now.
9 points for the rookie. 23-18, Henry Bibby, and he picks. And here comes Maravich, who we mentioned would be checking in. And he's in at one of the guard spots along with Archibald. 3-point lead for the Celtics. 1:24 to go, and that one almost got away from him. Cowens hustling out. Cowens, a real steadying influence on this team. Bird, he may have overpassed there. Henry Bibby comes out of there. Look at that. Bibby with the excellent ball handling. Off to Bobby Jones.
That's fine basketball there on the part of the Sixers. Started with Caldwell.
Billy C. is so concerned about today. Maravich out to Archibald. Larry Bird. Bird trying to back in on Jones. Uses a screen by Maravich.
He's really got the shot down. I'm telling you, Gary, he's really into the flow. He got a little bit of a screen, not much room, but you don't need much room when you're shooting the ball well.
Is he something? He has 11 points already in the game. That's the last time down the floor. Scored by Cowens. You see the time left. He's got enough time, and he got it. And that's going to end our first period of play. Boy, Archibald right under his chin on that play. Caldwell Jones now playing the center spot. Dawkins out of there as we start the second period. Irving moving out on Larry Bird. Not much you can do about that.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do with
the 11 points. Now the Doctor with 10. It was 29 and 27 Friday night. One of the classic matchups in basketball, and Bird comes back to the other end.
One thing about Larry, he's tough inside and outside, and when he's got it going, he can hurt you in a lot of ways.
31-24. Larry Bird with 13 points. Caldwell Jones with Cowens all over him. Cowens has gone all the way thus far. We'll see Roby later. Cheeks from the corner. Frederick Maxwell out to Maravich. Maxwell doesn't get a lot of the credit that's due him. Here is Bird off the glass.
I tell you, when you have that feeling as an offensive player, it doesn't matter what you do, that ball's going to go in the basket. Wisely, Billy Cunningham, who said before the game, if he has to stem the tide by calling 3 timeouts in a row, he will do it. Wise timeout. We'll see the good lead pass by Maravich out to the Bird. He sees the defense coming, pulls up and shoots it. Again, he's got the feeling. He knows that he's rolling, and he's going to take advantage of it. Smart playing by Larry Bird.
These two men are carrying their teams right now. Dr. J with 10 points, Larry Bird with 15 points.
There's no question about that, Gary. Without those two players in there, this would be a different basketball game.
Bird has hit 7 of 12 from the field. The Doctor 5 of 7. So both of them shooting excellent percentage. Bibby with Maravich on in. Look at that from the baseline level, showing you how tough it is to shake Maravich in that situation. They could go backcourt because the ball was touched by Boston. Cheeks off to Bobby Jones. Jones uses the screen by Caldwell Jones.
That's good aggressive defensively. We're letting them do whatever they want. We've got to get more aggressive defensively.
And he called one of those timeouts. He said he'd use them early. Backdoor to Tiny. Rejected by Bobby Jones. But there's Maxwell again. Minutes to go till halftime. Here's Daryl Dawkins against Bird. Bird with a rebound. And again, you got to credit Boston for good position.
They're not shooting the ball well, and you don't even get a chance to shoot it. It's pretty tough to turn things around.
Maravich off to Bird. Again, Bird is just playing tremendously well off the ball. Look at him move off the ball.
That was a beautiful play that time. Nice feed inside of Maxwell, who got the position underneath coming from the weak side on Bobby Jones. They fed him. When Bird's man turned his head, Bird went without the basketball. Cedric hit him for the easy 2.
He has 17 points. I don't think he can play much better than he's playing right now. Look out. Bibby has been fouled. Tripped him as he went into the crowd there. Almost out of control. 54 Philadelphia. Maravich, he wants to put one up. Bibby's not going to let him. Well, I guess he is too. How about that?
That was not a good shot. Pete forced that one and went in the basket, so it turns out to be a good play. But those type of plays can really hurt you in crucial situations.
39-26, the Celtics can do no wrong. Cheeks off to Irving. Irving forcing the shot. Maravich with the rebound, and this crowd is delirious right now. Bird is open on the baseline. Archibald to hit it.
Tiny didn't see the Bird man, but the Celtics have got it rolling now.
Race is on. Look at Dawkins. Dawkins off to Irving. That's going to be tough. Oh,
it's a tough shot. Doc just did it by himself again. He did have a man open. He might have been better off the passes, but you can't fault him when the ball goes in the hole.
That score should read 41-30 after that basket. But again, Dawkins really fired out of there, didn't he, on that race with Dave Cowens for the ball. Good, quick, active movement, and Bird's loose again. He's a one-man show right now. He has 19 points.
I'm telling you, Gary, he's got that feeling. I've had it sometime before myself, and when you've got it, you really want to get the ball in your hands.
Boy, it comes at a crucial time for this Boston team. Mixes in. He can have the hot streak, too. Irving just took the ball away from Bird. Nice pass to Mix.
That team does not need 18 and 20-foot shots at this stage.
Cowens from outside. Bird is everywhere. We're going to have a loose ball foul.
You don't need it right now.
That's the truth. Bird with 19 points. He's been phenomenal. Ford off to Maravich. Pistol Pete Maravich now with 4 points. They're playing much better basketball than the game we saw Friday night. Here's Bibby. Rejected by Bird. Maxwell. Bird throwing things at both ends of the floor. Chris Ford. Boy, he loves to shoot from there. He'd like to move out a little further for that three-pointer. Up to Cowens. Cowens with Dawkins on him. Look at Bird again.
Bird is really playing a great game. He just did that all on his own that time. He saw Cowens going to shoot it, circled around behind him. Nobody blocked him off the boards. Easy two.
Larry Bird is now 5 of 5 from the field in this second quarter play. 47-32. Hollins in a lot of trouble. Look at the swarming defense by Boston. Irving out to Bibby. 6 seconds on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock, and Mix gets it.
That time, and you notice how easy Boston is able to maneuver the ball from one side of the floor to the other. Maravich open.
Maravich, excellent move.
Again, the Philadelphia defense, they have some intensity for the first 1 or 2 passes, but Boston passes the ball 5, 6, 7 times, and sooner or later they break the defense down.
Pistol Pete now with 8 points in the game. Bibby, Ford on him. 9 seconds on the shot clock to Dawkins. Lean in and charging. No, comes Mix.
It's probably the best defense Philadelphia's played in this game.
Mix. Dawkins to follow. Good hustle by both those big men. Downs has gone all the way. Here's Maxwell against Mix. Off balance and got it.
Cedric looks very awkward at times, but he certainly gets the job done. He didn't look real smooth on that, but the ball went through the basket.
They call him the other forward, the guy that plays across from Bird, but he certainly is an integral part of this team. Hollins gets away from Maravich.
You see what will happen if you're successful on a pick and roll. That time Dave was a little reluctant to jump out and enabled Hollins to have the open jump shot.
Hollins now with 6 points, 51-38. It'll be an uphill battle for the Sixers, but they came from behind Friday night. Maravich into Cowens. Maxwell, by the way, has 9 rebounds. It's Maravich. Good. 18 of 18 from the field. Philadelphia 50% for the field. Hollins tries to take it in. Dawkins follows. Whoa, wait a minute. Foul by Ford. He held on to the rim. You can get a T on that.
You see the play again. Roby with a good recovery makes the block. Ball comes off. Dawkins with the rebound. Goes up, gets whacked. Hangs on playoff games.
54-46. Hollins had a mismatch. He didn't get the shot, and look at the horsing job by Bobby Jones. Great effort on his part. Hollins off to Dawkins. Boy, they've gotten remarkable effort from the bench, haven't they? Mix and Jones. Here's Mix. You see the time remaining. He got it. And we have a 4-point game at halftime for Bill Fitch. The Celtics in a must game for him. And Caldwell Jones, he didn't get that lean-in hook to go in the first half for him. Larry Bird with 21 points to Maxwell, who has 10. Archibald with cheeks on him. And Bird, left-handed.
That just shows the versatility that young man has. He made a great pump fake on his shot, lost Julius on it, went by him, and threw it up with the left hand. 23
points, and Bird is putting on a clinic right now. What a job. He's just done everything out here, both ends of the floor. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 4-point lead for Boston. Cheeks broken up by Archibald. And look at the hustle. I believe Archibald touched it last. Look at Bird. Holy cow. Boy, I'll tell you, that doesn't epitomize this basketball team.
There's Larry trying to make a desperation save. He went as fast as he could, slides into the table. You can see some of the probably Boston writers trying to protect him. There he goes again.
Do you believe that play?
Yeah, well, I believe it. He's a young man, has a great deal of enthusiasm for this game. He loves to play, and it just shows you on that play there the type of attitude he has. He'll do anything he can to try and help win the game.
That's a classic I don't believe I've ever seen anybody go after a ball quite like that.
Well, Ron Lee does it all the time in the league, but I've seen Dave Cowens do it. In fact, I saw him do it right here at Boston Garden against Milwaukee in perhaps the greatest basketball game I've ever seen, the double overtime win against Milwaukee.
We had a problem here on the 24-second clock running out as they were chasing the ball down to the other end of the floor.
Now, if they determined it was a loose ball situation, the ball was knocked loose, it would be a 24-second violation if the ball did not go out of bounds before the clock went off, because the ball was last in possession of the Philadelphia team. That's exactly what they have ruled.
I cannot get over that last effort, first by Archibald, and then further down the floor, Larry Bird. There's Fitch and Cunningham. Fitch looks like he's very well under control. Billy's concerned about where that ball should be given to him.
Well, on a 24-second violation, if it were called, they say they should get it in the back court.
Right.
But they're saying that the ball was 24 seconds and then went out of bounds down under the basket, and they're ruling that it's underneath the basket.
Now, wait a minute. Boston's getting the ball.
All right.
That's right. Okay.
24-second violation against the 76ers.
All right. So they hustle by Bird, and they still get the basketball. Boston with the 4-point lead, 56-52. Bird trying for 24 and 5. I think what you said earlier, Rick, is really important. You get that feeling, don't you?
I guarantee you get it, and Bird has it, because he's just getting it and looking to the basket, and that's what he should be doing, because he's helping his team when he does that. He's got the hot hand. You must take advantage of it.
So after cutting it to 2, they have it back to 6. Irving gets loose from from Larry Bird.
Bird made a good play that time, however. We'll watch the play again. Here's Cowens in a tough position where he feeds the ball so well. Julius lets Bird beat him across the middle. You can't afford to do that. He's over the back for the foul. Now here's that great play we talked about. First, watch the great defensive play by Archibald here. Reaches in on Cheeks, knocks it loose. There the ball, it's knocked again by Archibald down the floor. Bird with great hustle tries to get to it. One thing it proves here that the Birdman doesn't always fly. Sometimes he takes the ground route.
Boy, fortunate he didn't sustain an injury. There is his output for the day, 25 points. I still can't get over that play. 58-54, 4-point lead for the Celtics. They led at halftime by 4. Archibald to Bird, Irving trying to stay with him. Tried to pass and does to Cowens. Ford comes away with it. Boy, that was some pass again. Look at Bird moving away from the ball again. He was open.
I'll tell you right now, he is hungry for the basketball. And they should get the ball in his hands every time down the floor right now until he cools off.
Boy, it's a Larry Bird show. 27 points.
The thing that's so tough about him, Gary, there's another turnover right off of Cheeks' knee.
They're getting the multiple shots here.
They made a defensive switch, too. Caldwell Jones now on Bird.
And Dave Cowens. That's a 2-point play, 62-54. Caldwell Jones, Bird with another rebound. The Sixers need a basket, and Julius is going to try to do it. Look at that meeting. A foul on Dave Cowens.
Cowens with a good defense to help out. Julius just beats Bird on this play. Again, he gave him the baseline. Here comes the Doc. He's going up. Cowens over in time. Jumps in the air. The body collision. The foul on Cowens. Big thing again. Force the doctor into the middle so you can get even more help than just one man coming from the weak side.
2 shots coming for the doctor. He has 14 points. Seems like every time the Sixers start to fade a little bit, he kind of takes the game over himself, doesn't he? He just takes over. And there's Dave Cowens with 2 personal fouls.
One of the most active centers ever to play the game of basketball on the defensive end of the floor.
Bill Fitch says he's the best defensive center in the NBA. He gets some argument, but he's not shabby, is he? He does an excellent job.
Well, it just goes to
miss. Boston shot very well from the line in the first half, 6 of 7. That was easy, wasn't it?
Easy for him, not for me.
Maurice Cheeks get inside against each other. Carroll against Cowens, and he just cracked him in.
That's what crazy.
Dawkins, 7 seconds on the shot clock, 5 seconds on it. Oh.
Again, not a good shot, but it went in the basket, so.
Dawkins again, and he can't get this one. Bird, off it comes to Archibald. Tiny Archibald, baseline, Roby, and they're going to let him try a second time. Roby gets it to go. Boy, he was really hammered in there. No whistle, but the basket will count for Roby.
There's the play again. Dawkins going up there with a lot of authority. He wasn't called for the foul. I think he even thought he would.
6 seconds on the shot clock. 5, 4, and Hollins. Rebound, Larry Bird. Should have said Cheeks shot that. Here comes Bird, and that time there was a lot of pushing and no whistle.
A couple of guys could have got arrested on the street for doing that.
Roby out to Archibald. Dave Cowens back to Archibald using the screen.
That's what Tiny was so effective in the Houston series.
It's playoff time, right?
Doesn't matter. That's not the way the game was designed to be played.
There's Ford. There's Ford hitting outside. For him, that's 7 points. Mix checks in, and he wants to register 2 in a hurry, and white shirts all around the board on that rebound.
Again, poor shot selection.
Boy, Bird has a lot of rebounds. We'll try to check that for you. Roby. Hollins dribbled it off his foot. There is a matchup between these two. Larry Bird, look at that. 12 rebounds for Bird.
I think Julius having to play that tough defense. Really, he didn't get involved in the offense much after that great start that he had.
Now Cunningham was up arguing that very fact. He wants Lee Jones and Jack Madden over there.
He is yelling about it. He said 24 seconds after the ball hit nothing, and it's exactly what happened. The clock should have kept going. Here you see the play. Cowens is shooting it. 24 seconds, like right there is 3. It should be 2. 1, it's still not out of bounds. 24-second violation right there. The ball's still in play.
12-point lead, 10 points in the game for Cowens. Bobby Jones, the cutter, tough left-handed shot. He's not getting back very quickly on offense, but he doesn't need to because Bibby hit it.
It's like a carbon copy of the second quarter. They're missing the outside shots, or even that time on the drop.
A 6-point lead for the Boston Celtics. They cannot afford to lose this one. They trail 1 game to none, and it returns to Philadelphia for games 3 and 4. There's Cowens, a big left-handed hook. And he's going to get a man in. He'll get Caldwell Jones in. Larry Bird. That's a 2-pointer.
The old patented Celtic weave out in front. He got the fight over a jump switch on that. Otherwise, Bird could have a shot anytime he wants.
Larry Bird with 29 points. Timeout is called by Philadelphia. Cheeks chase it down. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 3-pointer.
That's one way to get back into the game quickly.
Henry Bibby.
He had nothing else that he could do in that situation, and it happened to pay off this time. Big play.
81-73. Boy, you had some games that 3-pointer. You had 8 in 1 game. Here's Bird. Maxwell there again. He seems to always be around the ball.
And that is
Archibald. 6:14 remaining. Archibald penetrated.
That's just a total breakdown on the Philadelphia defense. People were...
Chris Ford. And all of a sudden, Ford and Archibald have really contributed offensively.
We're watching his team losing right now.
Irving, Jones with a follow. Forcing the boards is Bobby Jones. Back to he had 12 of those. Here's Archibald, cheeks on him, Larry Bird. That's what he was doing earlier in the game. 31 points for Larry Bird. 90-77. Jones, foul by Dave Cowens. Nope, they're going to call it on Bobby Jones.
They will see the play. Cowens running over, getting position. Body contact, the toughest play in the game to call right there. One time it's a block, the next time it's an offensive foul. Now we'll watch Bird. You see him running off. Look at the screen by Cowens. He just knocked off Bobby Jones. Julius did not jump out. That's why Bird was able to get the open jump shot. It was Julius's fault that time for not picking up Bird coming off the screen.
Up trailing by 11. Irving trying to cut it to 9, and it goes in. It's a 9-point game now.
Point shooting team, so it's going to be tough for them to use that play effectively.
9 seconds on the shot clock, and Maxwell does it again. It's in the flow of the game. But right now, you would need it. Here's Archibald, hits the deck. Hollins. Bird is back. Irving, did you see that pass? He's in favor of ML Carr, and he got quite an ovation from this crowd. There's a 3-pointer by Bibby. Oh, did he hit that one from a long way?
He should get 4 for that one from where he shot it.
Heidi, 486, 10 points for Bibby. Boy, he had that ball out there. How far?
That was a good 30 feet or more.
Carr. The Cowens are going to sit on a little bit now. 39 seconds left in the game. Ford rejected goaltending. Leaving, and he's getting a standing ovation from this Celtic crowd.
Well, he carried him for a good 2.5 quarters before he cooled off in the middle of that third quarter.
All the Boston starters are in double figures in this game, led by this man, Larry Bird, with 31 points. And now coming out is Dave Cowens. And so Bill Fitch getting his regulars out of there. And they'll head on to Philadelphia for a game Wednesday in the Spectrum. Four substitutions. Gerald Henderson replaces Chris Ford. Ford down the stretch really played well for this Boston team.
Yes, he did. He made some real big plays defensively. Hit a couple of shots. He's a real pesty type of guy. He always seems to be somewhere out there causing problems for the others.
Henderson has checked in. 45 into Dawkins. They'll let him have that one. He almost brought the goal down with it. Now they pressure in the backcourt. Cunningham hasn't given up, but they got it to Judkins, and Judkins will put it away. Irving hits the deck, and he's fouled by M.L. Carr. They're not going to allow that basket because...
They'll throw it down the other end. The game's over.
And Irving tries to get it to Jones, and the Boston Celtics have now evened up this series. Larry Bird, 31 points, 12 rebounds, and it was Larry Bird who early in the game got the Boston Celtics rolling very well. And with this win now, even at 1-1 as they have the 7-game series, resuming Wednesday in Philadelphia and Friday before returning here a week from today in the Boston Garden.